Alrighty, so let's get started. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night. I know some people are from multiple locations across the planet or the globe. Today we're going to be talking about get better insights with DataSelf BI Based Reporting. My name is Johnny Girardi. I'm DataSelf's founder and CEO. I'm a big data geek. I've been working with this industry for about 20 years. I was a software engineer in my early career, became a business person, and 20 years ago, I started this journey of helping decision makers make more informed decisions. Primarily, what I've been helping in is pretty much what we're going to be looking at today is how to address two main issues. One is decision makers' frustration that they have the data, but they usually can't get actionable insights from their data anytime, anywhere. So that's one of the frustrations that we've been working on. The second is business analysts that are working super hard to keep up with decision maker requests for new KPIs and refresh KPIs. So giving them better tools to get their job. So that's my introduction. Tom.
Hello, everyone. Tom Fitzpatrick. I'm a BI solution engineer with DataSelf. I'll be performing the demo for you today, and I'm generally the first person that you'll speak to if you should see value in moving forward with DataSelf. I'll work with you throughout the sales process, demoing the product for you. From today, should you see the value, I think it's important to note that we can have a follow-up discussion to really understand more of your priorities and pains as it relates to reporting efforts, and then we can provide a tailored demo for you. So happy to help in any way possible to help you make more informed, better data-driven decisions.
Thank you, Tom. So let's move forward here. We're going to be spending about 5-10 minutes talking about informed decisions and challenges around it. Then we'll jump into a demo showing BI-based reporting and how business users can take advantage of it. After the demo, we're going to be kind of discussing ERP versus BI-based reporting, the main differences. And then towards the end of this presentation, we'll talk specifically how DataSelf tackles BI-based reporting. So first of all, there we go. The main challenges of decision makers when they complain that their reports are not there. One of the most common is what they call just being slow to get their key performance indicators. And slow can be, I need to run it right now, and it might take too long. We usually tell 10 seconds is pretty much what people are patient enough to wait for a computer to respond. If it takes longer than 10 seconds, you pretty much you lose people. So, can be just talking about a short period of time, or some complaint that they're always managing their business looking at the rear view mirror. Their KPIs are always kind of outdated. And the second thing is when a decision maker has questions about a different perspective that is not ready on a report, they got to call the data experts and wait until the data experts can come up with new reports and dashboards. So these are the main complaints of decision makers. I have the data, but why can I get insights anytime and anywhere? When you look at the business analysts, the people that actually support decision makers, the main challenge that they complain is reports, dashboards is very time consuming. They spend a lot of time refreshing, exporting data, manipulating data. There's a lot of repetitive tasks. Many people, they work pretty much every week and every month doing the same work over and over and over to refresh the reports and validate the data and distribute the reports to people. And overall, things are slow. And nowadays, people are not very patient when it comes to slow things. So those are the two main high-level challenges for business analysts and decision makers. And why people have these challenges? Well, primarily because most companies, they use what we call standard reporting. Standard reporting is usually the reporting tools that come with your digital systems, your ERP, your CRM, your payroll, your Google Analytics, all of them, they have built-in reporting tools, and also, easy to export to Excel. In both of these approaches, we call that they are focused on operational reporting or transactional in what you're doing pretty much today. So if you're only looking at a small data set, it's fast, and maybe you get the answers quickly. But as you start to looking into bigger pictures, you want to see trends, you want to see major KPIs, it becomes complex to build these reports. Sometimes it takes a long time to run them, and sometimes it might take hours or days for people to actually get the KPIs assembled using export to Excel and whatnot. When the decision maker wants to slice and dice the data, doing ad hoc analysis, quite often they can't, or it's just impossible. They got to call someone else. And there's not a lot of things that are automated. There's a lot of labor associated to get information to decision makers using standard reporting. Those are just the limitations. You're focusing what you're doing today, but when you're looking at management reporting, is limited. And that's why there is what's called BI-based reporting. BI-based means business intelligence-based reporting. It's a platform that works on top of the digital systems. So it's to complement what comes with the digital systems. And the focus is providing decision makers with strategic, predictive, and performance-based reporting. It's easy to use. Decision makers can actually look at their KPIs anytime, anywhere. It runs super fast. They can do what's called unlimited ad hoc analysis. They can drill down, drill across, and there's no limit. It's easy, and they can do it without calling the data experts. And overall, this kind of BI-based reporting has functionality that can automate the majority of the reporting tasks. So people can focus on analyzing data in less time in prepping the data for analysis. So it's a different platform. In a nutshell, some people like to say the standard reporting is what you're doing kind of today. So it's very critical for today's operations for the staff. While BI-based reporting is how you're doing. Pretty much management wants to see how you're doing and find the outliers. At the end of the day, when you have BI-based reporting, decision makers will have their KPIs timely, daily, weekly, monthly, whatever it is. It is easy to do ad hoc analysis. When you find an outlier, something really great, something really bad, what's happening, what's causing this, and being able to find the reason behind the outliers. And for business analysts, BI-based reporting provides an easy yet a powerful, a better reporting platform. You can automate the majority of the repetitive tasks that people do. It's alerts driven, meaning if something goes wrong, you can notify something is not working. And things run really fast. So all of this functionality helps business analysts to be a lot more productive. With that in mind, I'll let now Tom take over to show the demo of the BI-based reporting. So right now we're pretty much showing, we're going to be showing what the business user experience is when they're using BI-based reporting. We're going to be showing how DataSelf works. That's what Tom's going to be focusing on. However, if you were to be building any kind of BI-based reporting, it's the same functionality overall. And then we'll talk later how DataSelf makes BI-based reporting easier, better, and faster. Tom?
Very good. Johnny, if you could stop sharing so I can.
Yep.
Thank you very much. All righty. So you should all be seeing my DataSelf screen, the slicer, sales invoice slicer.
Yep.
Great. All right, so before we get started, just want to let you know we're going to be spending the next 15 to 20 minutes just demoing some of the more popular reporting templates that our business users interact with to self-service their business needs. Now, the majority of the templates that I'm going to be showing you today, they are focused towards sales, but I think it is important to note that just because the templates that I'm showing you today are geared towards sales, it doesn't mean that those templates don't extend into other business areas, okay, like inventory, finance, AR, AP, and so forth. Now, we do have purpose-built templates for those specific areas as well, but I only have about 20 minutes to demo this product. I don't want to demo all hundreds to thousands of reporting templates that we have, nor do I think you really want to sit and watch me do that. So I was limited to only the the top 3 to 4 for our demonstration today. Okay, so I think overall a good outcome is just understanding the general concepts, the flexibility, the speed, the ease, and the power that these reporting templates are going to offer you so that you can self-service your business needs and make more informed business decisions. And as I mentioned earlier, should you see the value after our demonstration today, please reach out to either myself, to Johnny, to your value-added reseller or your VAR. Let's get connected and let's understand more about your specific business, what you need from a reporting standpoint, how we can help ultimately take your business, your BI reporting to the next level. Okay. So with all of that said, where we're going to start is our sales invoice slicer. Now, this is a template. This is our slicer template. And as the name would indicate, this is where I'm going to be able to very easily slice and dice my data. So this is, we like to joke that this slicer is like an Excel pivot table on steroids. So probably the majority, if not all of you on this call right now, at one point or another have had to do manual data dumps where you've exported the data, dumped it into Excel, and then you've gone through all these hoops to manipulate and massage the data for your specific needs. The nice thing about DataSelf in this slicer reporting template is this is going to be automatically refreshed. Okay, this data is going to be pre-crunched through our SQL server so that you don't have to go through those manual manipulations. And then just through simple point and click functionality, I'm going to be able to create a report visual based off of what I need, based on my specific business needs. Okay, so I'll show you an example of that in just a second, but just to go over the general groundwork or the lay of this slicer reporting template. On the right-hand side, you can see our financial years. We can see the financial periods. So this is where I can just simply point and click. So if I wanted to do a comparative analysis, I could select 2021 and view my 2021 and 2022 sales data for periods 4 and 5. Okay. Over here, this is where right now we're seeing our sales invoice slicer by customer. So we're looking at our sales data by customer. If I select this drop down here, let's say I wanted to see my sales by salesperson, I'm simply just going to select salesperson. And in a second or two, now I'm seeing sales by my salesperson. Okay. Now, just to spend a quick moment here on this drop down here, this is a default list. We would be able to help you add additional data points that you would need for reporting to this drop down list, or we could do that for you. Okay, so there's a couple options there. Again, we are looking at this from a sales perspective, but this report template could be used in a lot of other areas as well, and a lot of different other use cases as well. Okay, so we're seeing our sales by our salesperson. Let's say, hey, I want to expand on this more. Let's click this plus sign. It's going to expand this column out. I'll select the drop down. Maybe I want to see sales by salesperson by item. Simply point and click. I'll see my item. Okay, and we can see that data automatically flow through. Maybe now I want to see my sales by salesperson by item by customer. Expand this column out, select the drop down, choose customer, and now I'm seeing my sales by salesperson by item by customer. Again, all of this automatically refreshed, automatically flowing into the system. No longer are you going to have to do any manual manipulations, which I'm sure at one point or another you've tried or have or currently are creating a report similar to what we're viewing here. Now I am looking at just the metrics, my sales metrics here, but if I select this drop down, I'm going to have a list of other metrics that I could report on. Again, this is just a default list. We would be able to help you, or you could add any other data points that you may need, but this is going to be a multi-select. So this is where I could add maybe the cost of sales to this. Maybe I want to see the profit or the gross margin. Okay. Our quantity sold, this year, prior year data, any variances. Okay. I'm just going to select quantity sold here and apply just to show you what this looks like here. And you can see instantly and accurately, it's going to pull in that quantity sold for periods 4 and 5 in 2022. Okay. So again, this slicer is going to allow you to very quickly and easily slice and dice, manipulate your data for any ad hoc analysis purposes. Nice thing is, which I'll show in our next reporting template, you are going to be able to save any configurations that you make to these templates, okay? So once you've, maybe this started, what started as an ad hoc report for you, now may want to become a regularly run, so maybe every week or every month and so forth. You can save this so it just becomes part of your normal process. Again, that data always refreshed and automated for you. Johnny, anything you'd like to add or complement to what we've already discussed on the slicer?
Yeah, the slicer is one of the examples of how decision makers become more independent. If you look at what Tom just did in this quick presentation, it's pretty much ad hoc analysis. You know, he just started from selecting some periods, selecting a slicer, in this case, salesperson, and he drilled down into items and customer in a certain direction. BI-based reporting is a tool that, you know, no matter what you do, you might be the controller, you might be in inventory planning, you might be manufacturing, in project accounting. Many times decision makers just need to do this, start from the high level and start to drill down into different pockets of the data. And quite often we hear people telling, well, if the report is not ready, I gotta call someone else. Or if I have the report and I click refresh to run it at every single drill down, it takes too long. Here, what Tom just showed is that this is always available, it's always ready to go. And as you drill down, no matter how much data you have, the result comes in seconds. And this kind of functionality in our client base is the 5th most used functionality across all the clients, meaning it's a very popular feature because decision makers need to find answer to their questions without calling someone else, and the slicer is a very popular one. So even though BI-based reporting is usually people think about the dashboards, the flashy, the charts and whatnot, the reality is many people just need their plain vanilla grids where they can just drill down to the details. And this is an example of how BI-based reporting helps them. Back to you.
Thanks, Johnny. So next, what I'd like to get into is our natural language query template. And this is one of the easiest templates to run within DataSelf. The nice thing about this template here is, as long as I know how to formulate sentences and speak in English, I'm going to be able to run this report. So consider this a gift from us to you, that you're going to have at least one reporting template that you can feel confident that by the end of today's presentation, you can self-service your reporting needs, or at least some of them. It isn't a magic wand, but natural language query does work very similar to like Google, which I'm sure you all have used. So in Google, you know, you ask Google a question, it's going to search the internet, it's going to pull up a list of web pages based on that search. Natural language query works in a very similar way, except instead of searching the internet, it's going to search your data, and then it's going to spin up a report based on what you've asked. Okay, so here I'm simply going to type in sales by salesperson in 2022. Okay, and you can see as I was typing, it started to query my data up at the top. Once I have my question or what I want to report on formulated, at this point, I can simply hit enter or select submit. And here you can see instantly and accurately, it's created a report that previously did not exist just through plain English asking a question. Okay, so here we can see our sales by our salespeople represented in a descending bar chart in 2022. Okay. Now let's say, hey, I want to add on to this. I want to see this broken down by month. Simply just going to come up to the top here, enter by month, select enter. And now I'm seeing my sales by my salespeople represented in these colorful line graphs by month in 2022. Okay. Now this looks great. This is a great visual, maybe something that you can print out and put on a dashboard or have for a sales meeting with the executives. But let's say I wanted to see the actual raw data behind this. What I could do is simply select this drop down here, select text table, and now I'm seeing a visual very consistent with that Excel view of from a row and column standpoint. Okay, so here we're seeing our sales data by our salespeople broken up by month in 2022. And as I mentioned earlier, let's say this, what started as a basic ad hoc inquiry that I asked within our natural language query, maybe I want this to stay, become a part of my normal set of reports that I want to run. By selecting this view original here down at the bottom, this is where I would be able to save this view so that I don't have to keep asking this question over and over again. I can save this. It's going to become part of my template set. I could make this my default. So when I log into DataSelf, this is the first report I view. I can make this visible to others should others within my organization have value in this report that I've created. So again, a lot of flexibility and ease in terms of creating the report and then saving and distributing it. One way of distributing it to others within the organization. Okay, you could also have some of these templates set up on automatic emails to others within the organization as well. Okay. Johnny, anything you'd like to add in terms of the natural language query?
Yeah, this part of the functionality also available from BI Based Reporting is the whole thing that now people talk about, the ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, machine learning, helping users get information out of digital systems. So that's the kind of technology behind the scenes, kind of reading what a human is asking in plain English. And right now, English is the only language supported. But then you put the question, and the tool will give the answer. Like Tom said, it's not a magic wand. You need to know how to articulate the question, which many times people don't. So we have found so far that actually between the slicer that Tom showed before, in this functionality, the slicer is actually more popular because it's more structured and it's easier to get what you're looking for. And people using natural language query, many times people articulate a question, think about something else, they get an answer that is not correct, they think the computer is getting it wrong, and actually the question was wrong. The question was not well articulated. So natural language query, artificial intelligence, ChatGPT has a huge future as this technology becomes smarter. It will help get the answers, or ask the person exactly what you mean by this question, and eventually it's going to become amazingly powerful. But it's a journey. Right now, I only know a smaller number of companies using it, but they are very successful with it. Amazing technology for ad hoc analysis if you know how to ask the questions correctly and clearly. Back to you, Tom.
Great. So we've shown an example of just basic plain English asking a question and having it render a report for me. We've shown an example of what you would be used to if you do a lot of your reporting in Excel. Now we want to show you what an example or an iteration of a reporting template from a dashboarding perspective, or what you would expect from BI-based reporting. So we're going to go into our year-over-year template here. Now, this is our year-over-year variances by sales. Again, this could be configured for other areas beyond sales, inventory, financials, to name a few. Now, this report or this dashboarding template can look like a lot at first glance. It is a relatively sophisticated report. So just want to spend a minute or two just unpacking and telling you the vision behind this particular dashboard. So what we've found is that certain business users or groups of business users, they really only care about a small set of KPIs, key performance indicators. Okay, but they do monitor and track those KPIs, whether that's daily, weekly, monthly, what have you. Okay, and within those KPIs, they want to be able to see, hey, show me where I'm doing very, very well, or where I'm not doing so well. Okay, and then allow me to drill into those outliers through simple click on and drill through functionality to understand the why something might be happening. Okay, and that's really what this dashboard achieves, is being able to quickly highlight, or for you to easily see visually where those outliers lie, and then drill down into to understand a little bit more about your business, so that you can make more immediate business-based decisions. Okay, so on the left-hand side here, we're seeing a bar chart this year, prior year, color-coded, as well as the variances. Just below that, we can see a trend line graph over time. From a sales perspective, I can also geographically see how well we're performing based on our customers in the various states of the US. If you're an international company, we could have this expanded to a global view as well. Now, what we're seeing here is anything in black, that's where sales are up. Anything in red, sales are down. And then on the right-hand side, we're seeing more of that raw data. Okay, so the customer prior year, this year, and the variance, as well as the items prior year, this year, and the variance. Okay, so let's just take Texas as our example here. Texas, just hovering over my cursor over Texas, we're seeing that it's currently experiencing a 2% sales growth. But when I select Texas now, what happens is now I'm only seeing data for my Texas customers. Okay. And very quickly, I can see that my top customer in particular, again, wanting to see those outliers, my top customer is experiencing a rather significant decline in sales, a little over 400,000 in sales. So I want to understand, hey, why is this happening? Why are we suffering such a large decline on this customer? So I'm going to click on that customer. And again, now this dashboard's only showing me data for this particular customer. And right away, down into my items, I can see that it's these 4 items that are driving the decline in terms of our sales. Okay, so with what we initially saw at a high level, big picture company-wide, Texas had a 2% growth. It wasn't until we actually started drilling down that this particular customer has a 8% decline. Okay, which is driving, which is ultimately leading to that performance being lower than what it could be. Now, let's say I want to actually drill down into the details of these items. I can simply highlight these top 4, and then show me the details. Okay, and then it's going to give me access or visibility into all of the transactional data this year, prior year, for those items that were sold from that customer. Okay, so again, this dashboard is just one iteration, but ultimately where you're going to be able to achieve that click on drill through ability, where you can see at a big picture and then drill down into the granular details to really understand why certain things are happening within your organization. Okay. Johnny, anything you'd like to compliment?
Given the mic, I'll always take it. Yeah, I mean, to me, many people, when they hear about business intelligence, they think about dashboards, kind of this kind of functionality, you know, the charts and the bubbles and whatnot. But to me, the biggest value of BI is the interactivity that provides decision makers what they're looking for. And what are they looking for? They're looking for KPIs at the right time, at the right location, and allow them to see, you know, what's going on. Like Tom showed here, he started with a KPI, with a dashboard showing a bunch of KPIs. This could be, you know, be looking at hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, ad hoc, doesn't matter. You know, people, decision makers, they want to see their KPIs, and when they see something, an outlier, something intriguing, something really good or really bad, they want to know the why, and then they want to start to drill down and slowly but surely find the most underlying fact that is causing that outlier. And in this example, at every single click that Tom did, you know, he changed the view significantly, and he went to a point where he went down to the details. But that's not the limit. You know, in a BI-based solution like this one, you could go and drill across. You know, he kind of drilled down from the top revenue KPIs, and he went drill down all the way to the most detailed level. But then you could start drilling across. I want to see open orders. I want to see quantity on hand. I want to see receivables. I want to see something related to this data, maybe something related that is in Google Analytics. I want to see how many times this customer has been visiting our website. I want to see some social media feeds into this customer. With BI, because BI-based reporting, we can bring all the data into the BI solution and link the data in a way that decision makers wants to, to navigate from the top level all the way to the most granular level, no matter what the data is, and do this in seconds, no matter how much data you have, without calling the data experts. Ad hoc analysis is the most important value for decision makers, and this is one example of how BI-based reporting can enable that. Back to you.
Great. Thank you, Johnny. So the last template that I want to highlight here is going to be our cash flow projection. So we did just want to give you at least one example of a financial dashboard, a financial visual. And this particular template has really been gaining a lot of momentum within the last year. And I think a lot of that has to do with the overall financial uncertainty of, are we in a recession? Are we not in a recession? Are we in a recession? Are we not? But what this template does is it ultimately allows you to see where your money is, your cash on hand today, and then be able to forecast out into the future based off of money coming in or money going out, and then be able to see where your cash will be at any point into the future. Okay, so just to unpack this dashboard for you, here we can see this green line or this green column here. This is our cash on hand today. On top of that is our blue. This is our AR. The orange, this is going to be our AP, and the red is our payroll. Okay, so the money coming in, the money coming out, and then this black line here, this is going to be just the flow of where your cash is going to be at any point in time on these particular days into the future. Okay, in the right-hand side here, these due dates, this is where you're going to be able to set that time frame. Right now, it's set to about 45 days. You can set that as far as you'd like out into the future, but ultimately, what we're capturing here is based on the due dates of those AR invoices and AP bills. That's the data that we're capturing and that we can forecast. Now, this particular dashboard template here, you could add additional data points as well. So if you have loans or any other items that you would like from a cash flow projection incorporated, we could certainly do that as well. But again, this just gives you a nice overall picture, a visual picture as to where you are from a cash flow standpoint at any point into the future. And then on the right-hand side, again, is going to be the actual raw data. Okay, so where I can see my transaction types, so the AP bills, the AR invoices, the documents, so what those invoice numbers are, the actual balances on those invoices. So I could simply, if I wanted to, just highlight this particular date, and now it's only going to show me that data on the right-hand side. Okay. So a very valuable report just from a cash flow perspective, cash flow forecasting within DataSelf. Okay. And with that, I will hand the mic back over to Johnny.
Yeah, and Tom, keep still on screen. Yep. This dashboard. This dashboard is a little bit on the finance side of the business. Usually, controllers, CFOs, they really appreciate cash flow analysis and cash flow projection. Actually, cash flow projection it's usually a fairly time-consuming job, because when people are doing it properly, they have to pull data from multiple locations in their system. Like their open AR, they open AP, their payroll, their loan payments, their recurring bills and revenues. And there's usually also some adjustments to be made. And quite often when people do this, they do it in Excel, and they usually do it once a week or once a month. It is usually time-consuming, is error-prone. With BI-based reporting, which is primarily using a data warehouse behind the scenes, you can get all the data, the data sets that feed into the cash flow projection automatically just automatically on schedule. So all the data is put together in this model where, like showing here, on the right, you have the raw data, sorry, showing all the transaction details. And then you can use BI charts in ways to plot the information visually so you can just see the outliers. And also, if you have lots of data, you can also use statistical models to project numbers based on, let's say what happened last year around this time when it comes to sales that I don't have in my system yet. Looking at open sales orders, looking at transactions on my website. So there are many ways you can put predictable models into this framework to have a better visibility into potential of your cash flow projection. And these we're looking from a cash flow standpoint, which again is good for CFOs and people looking at cash flow. But the same kind of engine, the same kind of capabilities can be looking to other part of the business. Like, you just want to project your sales, for instance. If you are a sales-driven organization, predicting what's going to happen with sales is usually a big concern. Is it going up? Is it going down? And why? And what can be changing in this model? Or if you are dealing with products, inventory planning, projecting what's going to happen with your inventory on hand. Are you going to run out of it? How much do you want to keep? You don't want to keep too much, not too little. So there's a lot of different reporting areas where this kind of analytics can help you be a lot more informed. And we're just showing you one perspective here, which is a cash flow, but this goes across multiple different areas. All right, Tom. Thank you. All right, Tom, thank you very much for the nice presentation. By the way, I've been answering several questions on the questions and answer panel. So if you have questions or if you want to double check what people have been asking the answers, feel free to click the Q&A button on the Zoom control panel so you can also ask your own questions or see what other people are inquiring. All right, so what Tom showed, he showed DataSelf analytics, but the whole concept of what we're showing here is what's called BI-based reporting. What is BI-based reporting? So let me go to the next slide. BI-based reporting is business intelligence leveraging data warehousing behind the scenes. Business intelligence is already a fairly common term in mid-sized companies. I see many companies working with business intelligence. And I hear many of them struggling on getting BI to deliver on the promise of BI, being easy, being fast, being automated. And many people struggle with that. And the reason is usually because people are not leveraging a data warehouse as a way to do what a data warehouse can do really well. A data warehouse is primarily a database. Can be a SQL database, can be a MySQL, can be Oracle, can be any database, but it's a SQL data. It's a database where you copy the raw data from your transaction systems, like your ERP, your CRM, your payroll, your Google Analytics, your social media, anything into that database. And now all of this data from different digital systems that are, telling what's happening with your business, but it's all your business. Your customers, they have multiple touch points with you. Maybe they go to your website and you have Google Analytics looking at them. Then they go to, your CRM and you have opportunities with them. And then you have eventually invoices and shipments, and all of this data, they can be in different data silos, but they're all the same business. In the data warehouse, you can actually connect easily all of these data points to have a single entity, like a customer, like a vendor, all the touch points of this entity with your digital systems, and consolidate this data in a way that a database can do the job really well. And then when you automate all of these processes of bringing the data together, then is when you can use tools like, even Excel, Tableau, Power BI, ClickView, and whatnot. These visualization tools, they can really shine once you have the data warehouse behind the scenes. So BI-based reporting is BI with the power of data warehousing. And that's what you saw today is you saw the user interface, but behind the scenes, you have a data warehouse making the process work more efficiently. Now, this is a generic concept. How does DataSelf do it? How does DataSelf delivers on BI-based reporting? So let's now focus specifically on DataSelf technology. We have two main options to help organizations getting better BI-based reporting. Some companies, they already have pretty good expertise in BI, like Tableau, Power BI, ClickView, and whatnot, and sometimes they struggle because they don't have a data warehousing. And I know some people here in this audience is one example that they have full capabilities on the BI side, and then we help them on the data warehousing side, more technical, but we can only fix that part of the problem, providing an amazing data warehousing framework. In option two, which is actually the most popular one that we support so far, is what Tom showed. Option two is the full-blown DataSelf solution that, it comes with the data warehousing, with ETL, with a bunch of things that you don't have to start your BI from scratch. You have a fairly well matured solution as on day one, and then you take it over, you customize it the way that you want. So let's just take a quick look into both options. Option one, again, is the more technical one. Primarily, you can have different data sources, and I'm listing here some of these data sources that we already have a lot of integration. Acumatica, Sage, Infor, Microsoft, NetSuite, and some others. We actually support over 200 different data sources that you might have. Then the idea is we use the DataSelf ETL Plus. ETL stands for extraction, transformation, and load. It means it will take the raw data from your digital systems, loads easily, automatically on schedule into a SQL Server data warehouse. It can be the cloud, can be on premises, can be behind the firewall. Doesn't matter where SQL is, but it does this process very efficiently and very quickly. And then you can use your own reporting tools. So people say, Crystal is not great. Well, it depends how you use Crystal. Crystal has very good value, but it doesn't matter. You can use then your reporting tools to report out of the data warehouse, knowing that the data will be automatically refreshed and transformed using ETL, which is a no-code, low-code, full-code. If you let me, this is my universe. I like, data pipeline universe, but I know it's fairly technical. It's not very popular yet for many clients. So let me move to the next option, which is the option number two, which we call the fast track your business intelligence-based reporting. Oops. This is what you just saw from what Tom was showing. It provides what we call this three-step process. It has a data warehouse built, plug and play, super simple to get started, but amazingly powerful, and you can control everything in it. You can control what tables you want to import, what fields you're going to be import, what data source you're going to import, how you're going to massage the data. All of these things can be controlled by you, depending you get the modules that you can customize the backend. But you don't have to. About half of our clients, they never touch the data warehouse because it's either out of the box from DataSelf, pretty comprehensive, or they use someone like DataSelf to do this kind of one-off customization on the back end. Anyhow, an amazing technology for BI-based reporting. Step two, we leverage Tableau, Power BI, and Excel. These are the three tools we use the most for our clients. We also support other tools, but these are the most popular. And if you don't know them, they are easy, they're fast, and they're amazingly empowering for decision makers. And that's what Tom showed today. Actually, Tom showed Tableau, even though Power BI works in a very similar manner. In the third, and quite often one of the biggest values is, out of the box, on day one, we have about 8,000 reports and dashboards that can be deployed out of your digital systems like, Sage, your Acumatica, NetSuite, Microsoft Dynamics, and whatnot. So you don't start with your BI-based reporting with a blank sheet. There's AP, there's AR, there's a lot of things ready to go, pretty much, not ready to go, but on day one, primarily you got 80% of your BI solution ready on day one. And then you take it over to customize the remaining 20%. So that's the main value, is having a bunch of things plug and play. This page shows briefly the kind of modules we have for ERP and CRM. If you look by different ERP systems that we support, there's a lot of out-of-the-box templates. It doesn't mean that you cannot have anything else. Of course, once you get DataSelf, let's say if you have Dynamics BC, and you want to have AP analysis, it doesn't mean you cannot do it. It just means it starts from scratch. While if you have a checkbox, it means it's part of the 8,000 reports and dashboards KPIs we have available. So part of the value, again, that I mentioned is allowing people to start with their BI projects done extensively on day one because of these templates. In a nutshell, we say that DataSelf solves reporting challenges fast and for good, primarily because we bring tools, pretty much an enterprise-grade BI platform, data warehousing, ETL, Tableau, Power BI, and Excel. The templates is a big part of the value. And then if you need support services, training, customizations on the BI side, sometimes many people don't have that expertise, for training or for the work, and we provide. So tools, templates, and professional services is the big package that many of our clients take advantage of to accelerate their BI-based reporting and address reporting challenges. We are in our year end, 2023 pretty much is over, and we have some very aggressive promotions going on. If you see some value in what you learned today, or if you already have DataSelf and you're considering adding more users, more capacity, contact us. You can contact Tom, myself, or just email sales@dataself.com. We can see specifically what you're looking for and see what kind of discounts we can bring in and help you hopefully close the budget and go into 2024 with better visibility into your business. With that in mind, we're going to open for questions. Let me just go over here. We had a lot of questions on the Q&A box. Let me just go over a few of them and keep on answering more questions I'm going to be addressing. We have a few minutes. Eric is asking if we can do email subscription for saved reports. Oh, that's the point of, if you have a report in DataSelf, no matter how it got there, but you have a report over there, can the user or the administrator per se configure the system to automatically email their report on a certain schedule? Absolutely, yes. Both. The admin user will control what rights each user or group of people will have. But one of the beauties of this is let users decide what they want when they want. So let's say if I'm the decision maker and I wanted to receive, let's say the cash flow projection that Tom was showing, and I want to see it, every week or every month, let the user go to the report, click the subscription button, select who should be receiving this email, maybe just a person, maybe they want to add some other people in the team, and how often, and you just put in the schedule, daily, hourly, weekly, monthly, and once you press subscribe, that's it. Moving forward, automatically on schedule, their report will be refreshed and emailed to the people that the person have configured. So it's very straightforward to let users subscribe the reports by themselves. So one question here is if the natural language query reports can be saved and exported. Yes, they can. When Tom was showing, he actually showed that he can click and save the report. So next time people don't have to start from scratch. I don't know exactly how you can right now, if you can save it in different locations. In a BI solution, you usually can save your reports in certain containers. Right now, I don't remember exactly how that works, but usually the good news is the security around BI-based reporting is very granular. You can define what a user can do, what they cannot do, and usually if they can save, and where can they save their own reports. So there's a lot of power in where people can configure in the system. More questions here. A nice comment from Carmen. There are so many reports that I can think of for Sage 100 using these over-crystal reports. It's way more effective and fast from what I can see. I was one in your training classes a while back, and I'm very impressed with how the product is growing. Carmen, thanks for the feedback. One question here is, please talk about where the data is accessed and would I remain control over my data? So what is the data and do I have control? Absolutely. With DataSelf, we call our solution like a Lego block approach. You decide which components of the Lego block you want. If you want everything, you just get everything. If you want everything in the cloud, so you don't have to install anything, usually there's the option. Or you can move the Lego blocks. You just pick what Lego blocks you want and where to put them. So typically, DataSelf can be fully in the cloud. I mean, if you have your source system behind the firewall, then we need to extract the data locally. But the data warehouse, the web server can be all in our cloud. We have AWS and Azure as the main cloud providers. Or on the opposite side, you can have the whole DataSelf solution behind the firewall. Everything, nothing, complete control. And usually when clients come to us with their own specific needs, we discuss why they want those specific needs. Sometimes they don't know certain options that can change what they're looking for. And then we can tailor the pricing of DataSelf based on the specific needs and provide them with tools, templates, and support. So absolutely, you have access to the whole data and you have control to the whole data. You just have to choose what Lego blocks you want and where you want them deployed. Another question from Carmen. We are recording the session. I believe we are. It's supposed to be recording automatically. And we're going to be emailing the recording tomorrow. That's the plan. A lot more questions. So question from Eric, if we're going to be leveraging the Microsoft Fabric as well as the OneLake storage. We are working on both of them, so stay tuned for news. Does one have to select Tableau Power BI, or can you utilize both through the DataSelf offering, using best of your templates from media analytics tools? It's your choice. Yeah, typically when people ask us about Tableau, Power BI, ClickView, Domo or not, usually we ask why you're asking the question. We try to understand where you are and what you have in-house as resources to support whatever that you're thinking of. And then we kind of educate you what other options maybe you haven't been considered, and hopefully we can help you choose what the right choice for you. And hopefully, with our framework, the data warehousing, the templates, professional service, we can help you make BI faster and more empowering for all of your people. So the answer is yes, we support pretty much all these BI tools. And the main idea is what you have, where you're going, why, and how can we help you? And we usually can. By the way, DataSelf, currently we are over 30 people. Most of our team is in the US, but we have people in other locations. And we're really here to help you be more successful with, getting data out of your systems. More questions here. With the integration to Acumatica, can you bring the dashboards into Acumatica to view from there? Good question, April. Absolutely, yes. DataSelf reports and dashboards can be embedded into other applications like Acumatica, NetSuite, Sage Intacct. As long as your tool, whatever the tool is, can work with JavaScript or iframe, which nowadays most tools can, then you can take the DataSelf reports and dashboards and embed them into your application. And once you do that properly, the idea is users will be able to access reports and dashboards from DataSelf inside of the application, and they might have no clue that that report is not coming from the, let's say Acumatica. The data is from Acumatica or from other systems, but the user doesn't even know that it's being rendered through a BI solution, not through the Acumatica built-in reporting capabilities. And this applies also to other digital systems, not only to Acumatica, as I mentioned. Another question, are your support staff available to help train and modify reports for someone who is never to these types of systems? For instance, setting up a production meeting report for weekly meetings. So the answer is yes. we have a fairly big professional services department, which the main focus is how can we help our clients and VARs as well to be more successful with BI-based reporting? And that's a question. Every client has a different need. Some clients, they need zero support. We have many clients that they got the DataSelf solution with zero support from DataSelf, and they are running and flying with it. Some other clients on the other opposite side of the spectrum is they have no bandwidth to do anything BI related, and we become their BI team. Most companies fall in between these two extremes. Many companies, they like to be trained. So we love to teach you to fish. The more independent you are, the better. Me personally, I prefer to sell you licenses and services. But we're here to train you. We're here to help you set up data extraction, massage the data warehouse if you need to, bring more systems, customize reports, help end users, being business users or business analysts. We are here to really help mid-sized companies become more self-sufficient with BI-based reporting. So absolutely, we have people to do that. Could you tell something about web data security in the cloud on Amazon Web Services and whatnot? So first of all, the DataSelf #1 company value is data privacy and data security. So we use best practices. We use Azure and AWS as our cloud providers, and we use a lot of data, cybersecurity settings to be sure the data is secured. Companies that actually decide to have their data on premises for whatever the reason, compliance issues, or they want to have control fully. As I mentioned, we have a Lego block approach, and we can move all the DataSelf solution behind the firewall. So no matter what your concerns or what you want to do from a cybersecurity standpoint, talk with us. Our first main goal is to educate the options that we're experts in. In things we're not experts, we'll point to other vendors that can answer those questions. We've been around for about 18 years. We only do BI-based reporting. So we're very experts in lots of data sources, ETL processes, data warehousing, Tableau, Power BI, Excel, in how to do this in a secure way to help you more successful. So, please contact Tom and I so we can discuss your specific requirements and see how we can help. Well, with that, looks like we have tackled the questions. I really hope you have found this webinar informative. I know we just covered the surface of BI-based reporting. There's a lot more things behind the scenes of how they work and how they do the magic. Feel free to reach out so we can talk with you and learn your specific questions and how we can help. I hope you have a wonderful, successful year end. Remember, we have promotions to help you close the budget in case you have. And Tom and I here are looking forward to help you be more successful by making more informed decisions anytime and anywhere. Thanks for watching.